The goal is to get more from your hard work. You don't work harder to receive less at tax time. When I learn something new, I do my best to share it with you. And I want to share a life experience that since I've been on the books, or since I've had extra money taken out each week for my paychecks, gave me less back at tax time. I'm not so fearful of paying my own taxes this year. I think branching out to live an entrepreneurial lifestyle, an independent contractor, a freelancer, I noticed my financial standing became more secure. I'm sharing this with this channel because there are many people, many gig economy, independent contractors who do have W-2 jobs and might not know this. I'm going to give a channel a shout out in a moment that I learned this from, and I had to wait a few days to share the information I learned because I felt like such a dummy. But you must understand, I was raised a certain way and I thought I was doing right because the people that trained me to become, raised me to become the person that I am, and people that I was surrounded by, I always felt that I was doing the right thing. But I wasn't. I was working harder to give myself less at tax time. I say from my late teens until my mid-30s, I had an accountant that was a friend of the family's, older than my parents. We're going a few years back now. That for years I had an extra $5 taken out of my paycheck, and I felt like I scored because I received more back at tax time. Then I had another accountant, and that accountant never once told me that it was bad to do this. It was wrong. I was giving myself less. I was paying a tax preparer to do my taxes, and I was never informed that what I was doing was wrong. Instead, I got a pat on the back. And that goes for number 2 accountant. That I don't see her anymore. Now I have someone else. But again, that tax preparer never once said to me, that's the wrong thing to do. Instead, she gave me a positive nod and a smile and said, that's good. I remember that. Wasn't that long ago. Now I have another accountant that I wished I'm going to ask him this time around. When you saw that I had an extra $20 taken out of my paycheck, did you realize that I was getting less in return? Because I pay a tax preparer to inform me, and I don't mind what the price is, but I'm a little upset that I can sit here and tell you that for the past, we'll say at least 30 years, really 40 years, not 30, 35, 3 people, tax preparers, never told me that I was working harder to receive less. Nor did payroll people. My last job had a payroll person, very corporate. I was taking $20 a week out of my paycheck, setting it to the side. I'm getting to the point in a moment, guys. And before that, I've had 2 waitressing jobs that I know that had payroll right on the premise. There were big corporate places I worked for, seasonal, and never once did they inform me about this information. The goal is to receive a small amount of a tax return. People should never receive a big tax refund. I'm going to give the channel a shout out in a moment. and all the information that you need to gain more knowledge so you don't make the same mistake that I did for decades. Never over $100. You should never receive over $100. If you receive a big refund, that means you stored your money in a savings account by the federal government with zero interest earned. Doesn't that sound stupid? But why would I now say, I'm so happy I'm educating myself and I'm watching these amazing YouTube channels and these financial advisors sharing their knowledge, because all these years I thought I was doing right. Meanwhile, I was doing wrong. I was working harder to give myself less. Why would I tell a payroll department, take an extra $20 or an extra $5 out of my paycheck every week so the federal government can store it into their savings account and let it grow no interest, and then at the end of the tax time I receive a big refund with less than I deserved because that money never gained any interest, received any interest? Do you get it? I could go on and on, guys, but you get the point. I wanted to share my knowledge with you. Share how the more I learn, if I can help someone not make the same mistakes I did, that makes me feel good. And that's a huge part of running a successful YouTube channel. And I'll be writing about this at MyIncomeJob.com. It's a great topic for a webpage. I learned this by watching Dave Ramsey. He's a very smart financial advisor that has branched out into the YouTube community, and he's helping a lot of people that don't have the knowledge, don't have the financial expertise to get more bang for the buck or save smarter and not work harder to receive less. And I'm going to put the link in the description below. And the title of the video is How the New Trump Tax Plan Affects Your Finances. And he tells you where to go on his website, where to go on the IRS.gov website to use the tax withholding estimator, and he gives people that have basic W-2 forms to fill out where to go to get their taxes done on the cheap, because it's so there's not a lot of parts to it. Go follow the video, listen to him, folks. Don't make the same mistake I did for almost 40 years. I worked harder and gave myself less for a long time. And the more I'm learning about finances, the more I see how people live with less financial worries, because they're working smarter, not harder. They're making their money work for them to earn more while they're working for their money. Do you get it? Okay. This video went on way too long, but it's a lot of very important information that if it helps one person, it was worth uploading this video. Stay in the know. And to the gig economy people that follow me, to the gig economy community, I'll be heading out in a little while on a Saturday night to make some big bucks and get those bonuses. Prime time. Prime time. More pay. It's like working a Sunday. You get more pay. Bye, guys. Get in the know. Have a good one.